Okay, we're good to go. Sorry about the sound wasn't working. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So before we start, we're going to ask that you guys hold your questions to the very end, so that way we can get through. We may answer your questions before we get to the very end, but let us just provide the information and then we'll go from there. So just to start off, and some of you guys don't know all of us, there's 6 of us. We're getting your 2 ladies to stand up too. This is our 5th grade team. I am Miss Red.
Miss Montana. And Miss Alceo.
Mrs. McMillan.
Mrs. Romain.
Mrs. Soto. So we are going to be the lucky ones that get to experience this with your kiddos. So the 5th grader Pathfinder trip is going to be Wednesday, April 29th to February, May 1st. It's super important for us to get some information out to you so that way you guys are able to prepare and get your children prepared, because I know at this age there's a lot of kids that we are experiencing that have never been away from their parents. Maybe haven't been anywhere besides their family. So this is a good way for you guys to make that decision before you invest in this trip. Okay, so the 5th grade trip information. Again, it's Wednesday, April 29th to Friday, May 1st. We're going to be leaving SJVA at 10 o'clock in the morning. So your kids will come with all of their stuff, their luggage, their sleeping bag, their pillow. If they cannot carry it, they cannot bring it. So it's up to them to be able to carry it. They will also, if they want a pillow, they can bring a pillow. If there's not pillows up there, they basically just get a mattress, and it's a bunk bed with a mattress, and it's up to the families to provide the information. The sleeping arrangements that they need. And then we will return to SJVA on Friday around 2:30. These will be sent out to you, so don't feel like you have to take a picture or make notes. We're going to send these out to all the families, so that way you guys have this information readily available. The cost per student is $303. This is why we wanted to make sure you guys have that knowledge, and that way savings can be done if needed be, and there's other things that we'll also present to you. Chaperones are going to be $184. And in order for a child to attend Pathfinders, they must be eligible. Your children should have brought home the field trip eligibility form yesterday. That should have been signed. If not, please ask your child. Those requirements, they're behavior, academic, as well as attendance requirements that have to be met in order to be eligible.
So when we are at Pathfinders, it is a very exciting time for the kids. They get to experience so many things like horseback riding, canoeing. We go on a cool hiking trip. There's the Alpine climbing challenge that the kids have just a lot of fun doing. There's just a lot more activities, which is why they tend to be very exhausted after that second day. But we do a lot, and they get to experience a lot of fun things, especially with their friends around them, with their parents if you're chaperoning, and they just have a lot of fun on the trip in general.
Okay, so when your child goes up there, they will be assigned a cabin. There will be chaperones within that cabin. And then they also assigned a chaperone for their daily activities. So they will actually be with 2 different groupings of people. And then when it's mealtime, they get another group. So we really intermix the kids, and we do take into consideration just certain kids can't be together. We're very diligent. We spend a lot of time grouping these kiddos together. And like I said, I've been there 3 years. I haven't had to move kids from groups because even the first year, we didn't know we had to group them. We got them grouped together. The next couple years that we went up, we know how the importance of it. Just like within a classroom, it's really important to have certain chemistry of students together and not together. So we really do take that into consideration. So with the groupings of the kids, they'll have 2 chaperones at least at all times. If your child ever is like walking away from a group, a chaperone will be with them or a teacher. So they're never up there by themselves. They won't be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom and walk on. No, they're always with an adult. And also in the cabins, there's at least 2 or more chaperones at all times. The male cabins, the teachers cannot go into unless we have a male chaperone. The males are not allowed in the female cabins because the teachers and the female chaperones are able to go there. We only need the male chaperones as teachers have to walk in there. Like I had a student one year that fell off the canoe into the water, so I had to go with him to get his stuff, make sure he was taken care of, take his dirty clothes that were wet. They had to get washed, so I was able to do that while the male chaperone went, but I couldn't go in by myself with him. So we do stay in groups of 2 as adults. We don't ever single ourselves out with a single child. A sample, thank you. A sample of our Pathfinder. This was a couple of years ago. So this is what it would look like. We're not going up in March. These aren't accurate for our timing, but we wanted to just kind of show you some of the things that they would go. So if they're part of the antelope group, they would start off with the climbing and the team challenge. And then they would go to dinner the first night. We don't do night hikes with us. We have day hikes. But we have different activities the kids will do at night. The first night they always do a fire drill. So that way, if anything happens, that the children know where to go, as well. It's more the chaperones because the kids are they're gonna need that direction. So the chaperones and teachers will be doing that. Then they have shower and lights out by night. And then they'll get up the next morning and they have breakfast at 7:30 in the morning. And then if you're part of Antelope, again, you would do horseback riding, canoe, and archery. So there's a little group that you would go with your chaperones. You would meet with them. And then you stay in that block until it's lunchtime. And then we would have lunch and free time. And then the kiddos get back together at 1:30. And in the meantime, towards the end, they do give them a warning. Go fill up your water bottle. They're very good about that. Make sure you have enough water. They'll have them get their journals, make sure they have appropriate clothes. If they need a little sweater or something, they'll ask them to grab that. Use the restrooms, and then archaeology. This is not 5th grade, but they go to another group, and they'll be able to experience that. Come back for dinner and free time again. And then math science fair, we do that in 5th grade. It's a lot of fun. The kids get to do some mini experiments together with their groups. And then they come back and they collaborate about like what happened, what could have happened. And then they go back to the cabins. That is the night before we leave, so they pack up the night before, because first thing in the morning, after they get up, get dressed, they bring all their luggage out. That way we can do our final check make sure everyone has all of their items. And then when the bus gets there, we're able to pack the bus. They'll go to breakfast while they're checking cabins. And at that point, they're not able to go back into the cabin. It has to be staff. And then the last thing they would do is going, they would have another activity for that one. It's going over to the farm and learning about the farm life. And then they'll do lunch at Pathfinders, and then they come home. When we go up on that Wednesday, the kids will need a snack lunch. That's the only food that they need to bring. And please don't let them bring other food, because we don't want critters in the cabins. They don't want ants and things like that in the cabins. Okay. So the kids are moving nonstop. They're busy the whole time we are there.
Okay, and now to talk about what they should pack for camp. So we're going to be up there for 3 days, or 2.5 days. So they aren't going to need enough clothes and enough activewear. I think one thing that my students were ultra concerned about last year is, do we have to be in dress code? No, they don't have to wear a polo and khaki pants the whole time we're camping up there, because they're going to be active. They're going on hikes and climbing towers and canoeing and things like that. So it does still have to be school appropriate attire, so just make sure if they're wearing shorts, they're long enough, they have some t-shirts with them, maybe a couple extra changes of clothes. Because of the time that we go, it's not very cold throughout the day, so they're going to be out in the sun, so I would recommend like shorts, t-shirts, but at night it does get pretty cold, and we do spend some time outside for our night activities. So like last year we went stargazing, and they got to do like a solar system walk outside, and it gets pretty chilly while we do that. So just make sure they have a jacket, maybe a pair of pants to bring with them. I would recommend bringing a reusable water bottle that they can refill. They have tons of refill stations for them. And please, please, please make sure they bring bedding with them too, especially a pillow, sleeping bag. So that would probably be the easiest and simplest, but just make sure that they're prepared, because they're staying in bunk beds, but they aren't fully furnished bunk beds, so they do have to provide their own pillow, blanket, sleeping bag, any of that nature. Again, we're going to send this to you, but it really is just a generic. Make sure they have some good sneakers, tennis shoes, socks, again, t-shirt, shorts, pretty simple camping attire.
I would recommend 2 pairs of shoes in case your kid has an issue, like getting them wet or something like that. And the key thing is, they're not going on vacation for a week. I had a girl bring more clothes than me, and I'm a heavy packer, and I couldn't believe how much. She said, my mom packed. I said, where are you going? I'm going for 3 days and 2 nights. And she's like, I'm not sure. She struggled with that thing. So just know that they don't need a lot. Like, they're going up they're already dressed. They only need a change of clothes for Thursday, and another change of clothes for Friday, and then maybe a pair of pajamas or something. It's okay to send an extra pair of pants or something, an extra outfit. Totally recommend that. But they don't need like a full-size suitcase up there. Again, they have to be able to carry it. Because when we get up there, it is dirt, just to let you guys know. So if they're dragging those, a lot of times it doesn't work well. They fall over. One time a wheel broke, and they're like, how do I do it now? I'm like, I hope you can carry it. And he's like, I'm going to try. I'm like, okay. And he was able to carry it, but it's not like paved like at the airports and stuff. We're up in the mountains. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so chaperones are needed. We cannot do this trip without you guys. We need chaperones. You do have to be able to chaperone the entire trip. You cannot leave at any time during the trip. Yeah, if you're not yet an approved volunteer, because you do have to be approved, if you're not yet an approved volunteer and you want to chaperone, you can pick up a packet from the front office to get that started. I would suggest doing that now, so that you have it done, because it does take some time for the approval process to fully go through. So the sooner you get that done, the better. You do have to stay with your group the entire time. When you're with a group, whether they're hiking or horseback riding or whatever it is that they're doing, you have to be with that group the entire time. Even when they are going into bed in the cabins, you are responsible for making sure that everyone is in their cabins, going to sleep, getting ready for bed, and all that kind of stuff. So when you're chaperoning, you are with the kids the whole time. Yeah. Am I missing anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, we do go on a hike, so we do have to give disclaimers to the parents because the hike, I don't think that it was hard, but we had last year a few parents that thought it was a little too much. So with the hike, you need to be in good enough condition to go on it. It's not a difficult hike. They rated it to like easy to medium, and only medium because of it's just a little slick because it is going up into the mountains. It gets a little slick with the sand and the dirt.
And there's some boulders you have to climb over at one point.
Yeah, if you go up, there is a stopping point before they go up to like where we had to climb over those.
Yeah.
So they do stop, like the staff stops and gives the kids the option. Do you want to go up and look in this mine, or would you like to stay? So only a few kids go up, and then we just make sure we have enough staff. But yeah, it's once we get to a certain point at the top, and they walk for a little bit of time, then you stop. And then you walk again, then you stop. It takes us a long time to get the short distance because they are pacing us. So I think it's very doable. All the kids that we took last year had no issues. And we even had a few kids that it was a question and they did it with no problem. So yeah, so it's just as chaperones for you guys to know that there is a hike involved. And you do have to stay with the kids. You can't say, okay, I'm going, and they'll be like, no, I'm going back. You can't go back because then they have to stop the hike. They have to send a naturalist down with you, so the hike just sits there. They can't go on because we need both naturalists. So we literally, last year we had to sit there while they waited for a parent to come back up. And so, yeah, so it delays. It's not fair to the kids. They want to be able to go. So just so you're aware, it's not difficult. If you're just worried about it, talk to your teacher. We'll kind of let you guys know. We can give you a little bit more details about the hike. But I don't think it would be a major issue. The kids can do it. We can all do it, right?
Sign-ups are very important. Pathfinders, you have to sign your child up for it. If your child is not signed up for Pathfinders, they can't go. There's a link. It is fully online. There's a link that will be sent out to you once we are ready to take in the sign-ups. We'll send a link out, and there will be a deadline for when your student has to be signed up. So once you get that link, if your student wants to go, you're going to have to sign them up as soon as possible, because once that deadline hits, we're not taking any more students in. So very important, keep your eye out for that link as we get closer to the dates, and make sure you sign them up on time. I know some of our parents have twins. You will have to sign each student up individually, so make sure you're signing up each student. And there will be a packet sent home as we get closer to the date with more information about the whole process of signing up.
Okay, the fun part. Payment information. So once we start taking payments, which won't be until a little bit closer to the trip, we're only going to accept payments on Wednesdays. So really how the system works is you would send a sealed envelope with your student's name on it. They can send it directly to their teacher. The teacher will log it, give them a receipt to return to you, and then we'll take care of it from there. We'll be keeping track on our own of how much your student has already given to us, how much they still owe. So if at any point you had questions about how much you still needed to pay for their trip, and that goes for chaperones as well, then you can just reach out directly to your student's teacher for that. Once again, just clearly label the envelope or bag with your child's first and last name, as well as the amount enclosed. It will just help us as teachers be able to keep track, get that receipt to you as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And payments will not be accepted on the day of the field trip, so the final payment will be due on April 15th. So that means their entire trip needs to be covered by then. And so that moves us into, I think, the refund policy. Okay. So once again, all payments are due by April 15th, as well as if you were making payments on the trip and if for whatever reason your child no longer wants to go or something comes up and they won't be able to go, then you have to fill out a refund request by that Wednesday, April 15th. So any request for a refund after that point will not be accepted. And refunds can't be issued after that date as the arrangements from the actual campsite are already confirmed by then. So they need our specific numbers, they need our specific payment due, and for that reason we aren't able to give you a refund if it's past that due date. Okay, so now I can talk about fundraising, because I know that this is a pretty steep amount to be paying, which is kind of why we wanted to give you guys this information early so that you can work on saving. But we also want to reassure you that we're working on our end to come up with as many fundraising plans as possible for this year. So I believe this week we're gonna send out fun card signups. So that will be sent home with a permission slip first, just so you and your student can agree, yes, I want to sell fun cards. And then we'll start that process, I believe, next week. Correct?
The permission slip will go home tomorrow. And then you'll also get some additional information on fun cards. Are anyone familiar with fun cards? Okay. So we're just doing him at San Jacinto. So for every card they sell, which is $12, your child will earn $6 towards the trip.
And really what a fun card is, it's those little cards that have discounts for various restaurants in town. So they're really cool. They have some really cool deals on them as well. So it's just an opportunity for students to kind of make known to their family, their friends, that, hey, I'm going on this trip. If you'd like to support me, then you kind of get something out of it as well. Along with that fundraiser, we're also trying to do Chipotle, Raising Cane's, and Stadium Pizza. So we're looking to do one in October, one in November, and one in December. Those ones are a little bit more hands-off. It's really just once we have dates secured, then we'll let parents and families know, hey, if you go to Chipotle or Cane's or Stadium Pizza on this night, let them know that you're supporting the SJBA 5th grade fundraiser, then we get a percentage of what they make that evening. So those ones are really simple, really easy. Another one that we're going to try to implement this year is called Snap. So this one, if you're familiar with like a GoFundMe sort of a website, it's very similar to that. This one is interesting because it's pretty much a parent. If you're interested in it, once we get it started, then you will make your student's account. When you make their account, then you'll fill in emails or phone numbers of family or friends that you think would be interested in helping support them in getting the funds raised for their trip. And then Snap takes care of sending out emails, text messages, reminders of just, hey, so-and-so student said that you'd be interested in helping support their fundraiser or help their field trip. Would you be willing to donate to that? So that's pretty much it. If friends, family are willing to donate, then they can just do that directly for your student. Once the deadline for that fundraiser closes, they'll send the money directly to the school, and that will go directly to your student. For that one, I do want to preface though, if they say we're raising their $303 on Snap and they exceeded that amount, so they raised $400, $500, then the additional cost does not unfortunately go into your pockets, but it will just go into the 5th grade fund and help some of their classmates get to go as well who may not be able to afford the trip on their own or who may need that extra support. So just want to kind of make that clear there. Also, we have Touring USA this year. That's not until later on April 24th, and we'll have a little snack bar there. And we're also discussing doing something similar for Harvest Festival, which will be next month. So just trying to throw in as many small fundraisers, but I think Snap will probably be the bigger one this year of just you guys being able to send it out to family members and friends who'd be willing to support your student.
Can I make one comment, or can you mention about the portion that's of that parent?
Yes. Yeah, so using Snap, just like any sort of fundraiser or donation company, they do take 20% of the funds raised. So the students will still get 80% of it, but that is just something to keep in mind. So say they raise the $350, that might come close to what they actually need for their trip. But if they hit right exactly at $303, then they're not going to actually get that set amount.
I'm just trying to go over a little more because they're going to take that 20%. So every 100 they're taking $20 from you. Okay, so what happens to my funds if I can't attend? So if I raise money on Snap, or if I did fun cards, like Ms. McMillan was saying, that money we cannot reimburse to you. That will go directly into the funds for other 5th grade students to help them be able to go for SJBA to pay for the buses, because the buses are a couple $1,000s for us to get them up there and get them back as well. So anything that is raised, even though Snap, you have family, friends, and you know, maybe coworkers and stuff donate, we cannot give that money to you because you raised it on staff. It just becomes into the general fund for SJVA. Same thing with fund cards. So we just wanted to have parents very clear with that, so that way they don't get upset. Like if, let's say little Johnny can't go because he lost it because his homework's not done, or there's a behavior or academic issue, so he's ineligible now. We will not give you a check for what was raised. That will just go into the general fund. Okay. Okay. And this was not. That just happened. That was really up at Pathfinders. That's like one of my faves. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah. Okay.
For SNAP funds, is it only for the children or can the chaperones? Like if my daughter goes over and
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then second question, sorry, the boy who fell out the canoe, are the children covered by full insurance or do we have to pay?
Okay, he didn't get hurt. He kind of pushed himself out. He started rocking the boat because he thought it was funny. And then he had his teacher. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, huh? I was like, no, let's go. I was on the canoe. And he's saying, I was not on his canoe, but I was next to him.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they wear life vests. And literally I was right there and he was like acting like he couldn't do anything. He said, if I have to jump into this water, we're going to have another conversation. He goes, okay, fine. And he swam to the side. Yeah, but the staff is right on it. They get them right out. So yeah, we just had to go get them showered and changed and stuff because it's not clean water because it's out in the, like there's ducks and stuff in there. So we had to go get them clean. So we got that taken care of.
They do get hurt.
There is staff on there that is trained.
They have a helmet.
When they register,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, when they register, you do have to fill out a few forms and waivers and things like that.
And then my last question is, where are the showers? Are they inside the cabins or? Okay.
It looks like a bathroom, they're just bigger, but it's actually the shower. So there's bathrooms in there and showers, but they're in stalls.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Bring shower shoes.
Oh,
Kids care about
yes,
that.
yes, oh my gosh. Have them bring a pair of flip-flops to wear into the showers. Yeah.
For the hike, they need certain boots?
No, just tennis shoes, yeah. I would just make sure they have tread. I made the mistake of taking non-tread, and I'm lucky that I didn't fall because I'm klutzy, and so I just kind of slid some places, but that's because my shoes had no tread.
And then also, like, I see, like you guys said, so we can just bring payments as we get money, so say, like, every check I throw into them.
Yeah. We will let you guys know when we start taking the payments. We are not going to open just yet the enrollment, but we're going to be opening that pretty soon, probably the next couple months. That way we can see what our numbers are. We do need chaperones, like was mentioned earlier, but we are not going to reach out for chaperones just yet. We're going to wait until like January, February, and we kind of see what our numbers are because we only can take so many chaperones for so many kids. Last year we had like 45, 50 chaperones. We had 114 kids going. Like that, we had too many.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Will the chaperones get to ride with you guys or do they have to be separate cars?
You are allowed to ride with us as long as we have room on the bus. So as long as the kids don't, because we have to put the luggage in the bus. If we can't get parents last year, it was amazing. We had all the chaperones come. We literally loaded, I think most of, if not all of our luggage in the chaperone cars. But if you are in a spot where maybe you have in need of your car at home and you can't go both ways, just reach out to your teacher. We'll make that arrangement with you, no problem. Yeah, and that way you can't make the trip too. You're stuck. No Starbucks runs.
Gentle disclaimer, it's a 3-day trip with a bunch of really excited 5th graders. So lots of
Yes, coffee is around the clock. They keep it. I don't know if it's open at night though, but it's open like 6 o'clock in the morning because I see it. I see all the gentlemen last year. I was like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
So. No, you're fine.
for stargazing, the chaperones have to go to
Yeah, because it's dark. You have to make sure the kids stay where they are, and because if they wander off, you
so
can.
you guys are
Yeah, everything that your kids go, you are with them at all
we get to
times.
participate in activities as well?
Anything but the horse riding. The horses are geriatric, so they don't let the dogs. We will probably have a good day with the parents on there. But yeah, anything but the horses. Everything else you could totally.
And where is this at? I don't even know
It's
where
up in Idlewild.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was guessing, but I wasn't 100% sure. if it
It's
was something.
Mountain Center.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a beautiful location.
My other question was for the hike. Do we know like how much mile? Like, is it a 1 mile hike? Is it a 2 mile hike?
I think it may be a mile up and a mile down.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad at all.
Are they able to take snacks?
Okay, she did it pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's not a hard hike, but we had parents last year, so we just want to let you guys know.
Right.
But I don't think it's a difficult hike.
Are they allowed to take snacks? Like, I'm just saying because when we do hiking and we take
Yeah.
oranges, and is that an option for them?
Not
or
the
not really?
snacks, because the school usually
trash,
provides
no?
stuff for us
Okay,
to take.
true.
For the kids.
Okay.
So the teachers, if we don't go, we will give it to the chaperones.
Okay.
Because last year we had snacks, we brought it, but some of the kids had stuff that, because the other chaperones, like if you're a chaperone, you can bring snacks yourself. But the kids, we don't want them to have it because as adults, you'll be a little more responsible.
Right.
And we don't want them eating in the middle of the night because just in case if there's allergies and stuff, because there are some in our grade level that we have to be aware of, so it's easier for us to have just the parents.
So the parents also stay in the cabin with the kids?
Yeah, they're in a
Is that how you
separate
guys do it?
area.
Okay.
So they don't actually sleep where the kids are, but they're like in the middle. Like they have, when you walk in, there's a chaperone area where the parents will sleep, and then you veer off on both sides. Those are like where the kids sleep, and then in the middle is where the bathroom is.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah.
What about medication?
Okay, there's a form that you're going to be filling out through Pathfinders, and that gets sent to them, or you can print it out and fill it out, but they will ask about the medicine information, and your child will bring in a Ziploc bag with that form in for Pathfinders, and then they hold on to it until we get to Pathfinders. So when they come on campus that day, it just stays in their bag. Teachers do not take it. We don't touch any of it because that's Pathfinders. So once we get there, they'll ask all the students. The teachers know. So we'll give the students, you need to go give that to the nurse, and then we give it to the nurse.
Now you were saying something about the hike. Mine's got an inhaler, so
That
do
will-
they carry that with them
Yeah.
because of that situation?
Yeah, if the, at all times, if they, especially inhalers and EpiPens, will be with the student at all times. So, they do have some, like, medication up there, like the kids are like, allergies, if they have headaches, for the girls, if they have, they start their period or something, they have all of that up there. If they give them any type of medicine though, or even anything to take care of their monthly needs, they will let you know, okay? Because sometimes kids go up there and they get headache, and then they have to get the okay from the parents, so the staff will call you, okay? And then, anything like with your medicine, if there's any issues, they'll also call, because the medicine has to be in its original packaging. So if you get it from the pharmacy, we need that box. You can't just send the actual medicine. They need the exact script from the doctor. So they won't be able to administer it unless they have that. Okay.
But what if it's with the nurse through your school?
Then it will get checked out.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
can be used
Yes.
through the school, and then
We'll
once we
go
come
and
back,
tell
it goes
them
right
that we
back
need
in.
it, and we'll check it out, and then we'll give it to Pathfinders, get it back, and then check it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
just
hard
let
to
your
go back and
teacher
forth to
know.
the doctor.
Yeah, just let your
Let her know.
teacher, yeah.
Okay.
Let your teacher know, because I know EpiPens are expensive.
Yes.
So you don't want to have to go buy another one just to send up. Just make that communication with that teacher, so that way we can collect it and do that too. Any other questions? Yeah.
What about like meals? Is there like a sample menu or?
So they're actually pretty. No, but it's what we had last time. There's always a salad bar for lunch and dinner. They do ask you about your child's dietary needs. So if they're like lactose intolerant, if they're gluten free, you just let them know. If they're vegan, vegetarian, you just let them know, and they meet those needs.
On the application?
But breakfast they do like pancakes, eggs, bacon, fruit. They have juice. They have cereal. They have fruit. Lunch. What do we eat for lunch?
Chicken nuggets.
They had
sandwiches.
pizza.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It's
pizza.
pretty generic. Pizza, we have
Yeah.
fried chicken.
And dinners, I mean, they can eat as much as they want. But they do let them know that the garbology, they try to see what group of tables can have the least amount of waste. So every night they measure that, well actually every meal they measure it, then they tally up to see what table group and what we had as a whole as SJVA 5th grade, what our waste was. Because a lot of those kids just like, last year a few of the kids were just filling up their plate. I was like, oh, yeah, right. They could not finish it. And they just, their eyes were bigger than their stomach, and then they had to waste all that, and they were like, oh man. And then the next time I didn't see that particular student take that much. Oh, it's okay to get a little bit, and then if you run out at the table, you go and ask the other tables. If no one has it, you go ask the kitchen, and the kitchen will give you one. So it's not like, oh, you only get the basics, like a sandwich or something. They're pretty well rounded. And at night they give you dessert. There's 2 nights of dessert. And the kids really love that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good experience for the kids. Some of the kids are like, I don't want to go. And then once we get there and that anxiety of leaving your parents, they're like, oh my gosh, do we have to go home? Mm-hmm. Yes, Friday's here, time to go home. It's time for the teachers to go home too. But they have a lot of fun. They really do. Us 3 teachers are the only ones that have been in the trip. Miss Salcedo unfortunately had to stay back last year, and then we have 2 brand new teachers, so they haven't had the joy of experiencing it with us. But we really have fun, even as teachers. We get to go and interact with the kids and hang out with the kids. It's really fun.
What happens to the kids that decide to stay?
They're still school.
They're
yes,
still school.
And we'll have a teacher come in. That's Miss Salcedo stayed last year.
Okay.
She will stay, and actually we had a sub too, right? Because we had enough. Depending on how many kids we have will depend on how many teachers, but Miss Salcedo stayed with the sub last year and they just split the kids that stayed.
If they choose not to come, would it be IS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, IS definitely. Yeah, if they choose not to go and they don't come to school, yeah, independent studies please. Yeah, if they go on the trip, they don't have to because it's considered a field trip.
Right.
And just so that you guys know, because the other field trips are like donations, this is not a donation field trip. So if you want your child to go, I would start trying to raise the funds. If there is a financial thing that is really going to make it hard, please reach out to the teacher. And please make sure you participate in SNAP and the fun cards. That way, if there's any way that we as a school can help, we can do that. I know Ms. McMillan talked to you about Chipotle, Raising Cane's, and Stadium. That is going to go into the general fund. So that way it can help. And that can help in those situations. But if you can truly do it, we highly please just make sure that you make those payments, sign those kids up by the deadline. We have to have a certain deadline because last year we had so many kids dropped out. The school has to pay for all the empty beds that are up there. And so it's $303 a kid. And we had quite a few kids at the last minute. We didn't fill it up, so that's why we have to be really strict with the deadline this time, because it's a waste of money. So we really want to make sure we don't have that deficit, and we're able to continue to offer this. So any other questions? Yeah.
With the money, now I understand all the refund type
Yeah.
stuff, but what if it's like in a real emergency to where some of them can't go because of really bad issues? Where do you go with that?
Talk to your teacher, definitely. So like I had a student the day before, and her and her mother were supposed to go, and I found out the day before we went. So we have to, as teachers, we're like, okay.
Yeah.
And so we had to reconfigure stuff. But as teachers, we also have to get it all arranged. We have name tags for everyone. We have grouping, so we had to redo everything because we had to finagle new chaperones, make sure, because it left us at a deficit of a female. Yeah, in a group. So that is why. But if it's a true emergency, just reach out to the teacher, and then we have to get it cleared through admin. So admin may want you to fill out the statement saying what is going on, so that way they can be like, okay. Like if major things, it's
Stuff
reasonable.
happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
Things are reasonable. It's just we just want people to back out the last second because their child changed their mind.
Right.
Yeah, because
Go, please go.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I was told somebody had one on one of these little trips and they had bed bugs. So I just want to know how does that work, or do they spray it?
We didn't have it the last 3 years.
We had it.
But I did hear they had it at one point. We didn't, the last 3 years when we were there, we didn't have it.
I'm like,
They
do I
moved
bring my
us
spray?
to they moved us to a different cabin, and then the next year they actually ended up closing Pathfinders for a few years because their bed bug situation had gotten so bad.
Well, please no.
I was just told.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no.
about it.
Can we bring her home? Yeah, she needs to stay. I'm sorry, I was just told
No,
that
I'm.
on my way to this meeting, my supervisor's like, oh, my kids went, but we had the bed bugs. I said, what? So, yeah.
We haven't had it the last 3 years. Please don't jinx
Is
us.
that why you bring your own bed?
Well, it's because they don't offer it. So I would bring even like a fitted sheet that for a single mattress if you want your child to be on that, and then just put the actual sleeping bag on top of that.
I'll bring some bug spray.
Your kids can't bring it, but I can. If I don't
Yes,
say
oh.
it.
For a fitted sheet, what size would you bring?
It's a twin. Yeah. And okay, from experience, I put a sleeping bag, and let me tell you, you move. I almost landed on the floor because I moved as it's slick. So definitely bring a fitted sheet if you can, because it is, unless they, like as adults, we have our own cabin, but we like move it to the floor, but the kids don't have that luxury. So I would definitely bring a fitted sheet for a twin, so that way it's not so slick, because it's literally like, is that plastic
Yeah,
on those?
it's plastic.
So it's plastic, and then with the sleeping bag, you get a lot of movement. So just to let you guys know. That is your discretion, because if they lose it, if it falls in the like ponds, or if it gets damaged, that's on you, on them. Yeah,
Also,
so,
keep in mind too, a lot of phones are not gonna have service.
yeah.
But I had no service on my phone the whole time I was there, so.
There's certain spots that you can get it, but it's hard. Like I try to send messages to the parents just to tell them we're doing good. It never went through. And even when we hike and we went up, I tried. I think up there is even worse. Like the higher we got, I was like, now I have 0. So the kids just can't take videos and take pictures. Of course, in the cabins, we ask that if the chaperones are there, just because we want to make sure that everyone has their privacy. And on the bus, we don't let them take videos or pictures as well. But if they want to take it up there, that's fine. A lot of kids use it to take pictures, and that's fine. We don't have a problem with that, as long if they're not being used appropriately, we will reach out and tell you we did take the phone, and these are the reasons why, and then we'll give it back to them once we get back to campus. Okay. We haven't had to do that, but just the kids are cool. Is there anything? Oh,
In the cabin, is there like windows for ventilation?
Yes.
Or AC? Or
Yeah, they control the air conditioner and heater, and if there's an issue, the chaperones can let the staff know or the teachers know.
So there is AC?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Some rooms are colder than others. Yeah, she had a room that I think that all the air went into hers because she put every article of clothing on. I was not like that. I was like, oh, it's nice. And I know that gets cold, but she came out like the little guy from Christmas Story. She's, it's cold in there. But no, they regulate the AC and heater. We don't have access to it. The main office does. So we like the first time I went, it was a little warm in there. So we asked, can you just turn it down a little bit because it was warm for us. And so they do that. It's not a big issue at all. But yeah. Do you ladies have anything else that you want to share? Okay, big thing right now is just making sure your child stays eligible, and then really talking to your child if they really want to go, because it is a little bit of an investment for you. There's some great opportunities for fundraising. So if there's any additional questions, just reach out to your teacher, and we'll let you guys know the dates. Coming up, we'll have a little more for you after. We do to parent-teacher conferences, and those end October 3rd. So we'll get a little bit more information to you, but we have to do baby steps. We can't just throw it all out there because that's a lot right now. And there's really no need for your child to be signed up this second. Once we get a better idea of how many kids, we'll start talking about the chaperone and pass type. So if that's something you're interested, just make sure you're cleared and that your TB is good. I had a parent last year that her TB wasn't up to date, so just make sure all that stuff is good to go. And then when the time comes, we do a lottery system, just so you guys know. I don't know if you guys noticed that on the slide. Last year, like I said, we had like 45, 50 chaperones, so we had to do a lottery system. And we just put all the names in there and pull out as many as we need. And it's within the teachers. It's not like, oh, we all put them in and they all came out of Montano's class. It's within each of it. We find out, okay, we need 25 females. We divvy up against amongst all the teachers. And if the teacher doesn't have enough, they get to take who they have, and then we bring it over to someone who has higher numbers with the females, and then they'll get to bring the additional chaperone. Okay. Anything else? Like I said, if you guys have any other questions, just reach out to your teacher. You'll be getting information like within the next month with some of these deadlines, and we'll just go from there. We're really excited. It's going to be fun. It's always really nice when we go up there. So it's a good experience for the kids because a lot of them have never experienced it. So it's really good. So if possible, it'd be really good. Right now, just save your money in your sock drawer or somewhere, but don't forget where you put it. Hide it from your kiddos.
Is there like mosquitoes and stuff out there? You gotta be careful, right?
I didn't have any issues.
I didn't either.
I mean, it's the mountains, so there's bugs and critters that you might come across, but nothing, it's not like infestation.
Because I came from Mississippi.
Yeah.
So then no, then you're fine.
Yeah. The teachers are the ones that get the bats because there's a little. We always get the baby bats. There's baby bats at the teacher's cabin, but no one else's. It's always ours. Yeah, they're so cute.
Be a chaperone.
Yeah, no, it's just literally it's only at the teacher cabin because the way our cabin is, it's like the A-frame in the front, so they go up. But the other ones, I've never seen bats anywhere but our cabin. So they like us.
You guys are protected.
Yeah, right? But yeah, and they're not allowed to go out after lights out and stuff like that. The chaperones will stay. If there's issues, chaperones will get a hold of us because we give them our phone number, and then they can come to our cabin because it's the best. But they know where we're at, so they can always come to us. Okay. You guys are free to go. I really appreciate you guys coming out and hearing the information, and you can